Welcome back, and now we take a look at the local news. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. the Honorable Ralph Gonsalves, as he addressed the opening ceremony on Monday, July 4, 2016, at the National Cultural Center, Georgetown, Guyana, said that aging in the region is something that must be talked about. Dr. Gonsalves said aging's relationship with chronic non-communicable diseases and technology was among the issues to be addressed.
Which is getting older, we have to think seriously about it. In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, between the intercensus period 2001 and 2012, the over 60 population went up by 30%. And similar numbers across the region. People are living longer. In addition to the chronic non-communicable diseases of great importance, which Keith Rowley spoke about, we have to look at this question of aging, and we have to look very sensitively to the subject. It's not on the agendas. It is not because I am going to be 70 in August and I'm so preoccupied with this particular matter. But I'd be foolish if I were not preoccupied with the matter. Because that has implications for a range of social policies and also for the relationship with the young.
Addressing the opening session on Monday, Dr. Gonsalves spoke of the need to move forward the process of developing the single market and economy. Dr. Gonsalves told CARICOM heads that there are many big challenges that loom within the Caribbean region, particularly that of climate change. Accompanying the Prime Minister is this country's ambassador to CARICOM, Ellsworth John.
There's a quote, race to the bottom. Several Caribbean countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis and Dominica, have established CIPs through which foreign investors are given citizenship in return for making significant investment in the development of these countries. Gonsalves reaffirmed his Unity Labour Party, ULP's position on the issue and said that his government has no intention of having a citizenship by investment program. He said 5 other independent countries of the OECS have gone this way and he wishes them well. But his government holds to the view that it's a different issue for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He added that in any house in his country, the 2 most important books are the Bible and the passport, noting that SVG has a good quality passport and that government has spent a lot of money upgrading and modernizing it. Gonsalves, who is also Minister of Finance, said there are other opportunities within the international financial services sector. And finally, the government of St. Lucia is hoping to take its maritime sector to the next level. To this end, the Parliament has passed amendments to the country's Shipping Act. That act makes provision for the registration and licensing of ships and matters relating to cruise, safety of life at sea, and trade in St. Lucia's territorial waters. Now, with the amendment to the act, foreign registered vessels will now be able to register in St. Lucia. Maritime expert and consultant Cuthbert Didier says it is great news for the country.
In terms of the shipping sector, we now have the potential of registering these huge foreign cargo ships, and that speaks volume for the destination.
Regional security, citizenship by investment CBI programs, correspondent banking, and re-exit decision are among the top agenda issues being discussed by the CARICOM leaders.
Young males, we have to get them to move away from crime. It's an issue which also is of great significance.
Our region, as resilient as we are, continues to face existential threats, and in Jamaica in particular, the rise in crime and violence associated with organized criminal enterprises in narco-trafficking, small arms trafficking, other contraband trafficking, human trafficking, and money laundering.
The safety and security of our citizens is the foundation of our collective future welfare. and prosperity. The level of crime is disturbing and has a negative impact on our societies and our economies. There is no doubt that it requires a concerted regional response.
Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves was among regional heads attending the 37th regular meeting of CARICOM heads of government in Georgetown, Guyana. Aloma Kodagan, aka Gospel Dan, formerly known as Fatty Dan, has died. We at IKtv express our deepest condolences to her family, relatives and friends. Kodagan for a number of years performed at Victoria Park as one of this country's leading calypsonians under the moniker Fatty Dan. However, in 2009, she made a life-changing decision. Kodagan, who became a Christian, took to the stage under her new name, Gospel Dan, with full support from the gospel community in SPG. On Saturday night, April 4, 2009, members of the Christian community turned out in droves at the Victoria Park for the event, which showcased the talent that exists in the various churches across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as within the region Gospel Fest. One of the high points of the event was Aloma Kodagan's sterling rendition dubbed Declaration of Blessings. We pray that her soul rests in peace. Businesses in the manufacturing sector are being targeted for a one-day seminar designed to improve their levels of productivity. The seminar on effective production, scheduling and costing is being organized by Vinci Claus Incorporation and will be held on Tuesday, 12 July 2016 from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the conference room of the Center for Enterprise Development Incorporation, CED. The seminar is designed to equip participants with the knowledge and understanding of effective planning and scheduling to reduce their overall manufacturing cost and improve productivity. It will be delivered by personnel from St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. Senior Prosecutor Adolphus Delpesh has made it clear that he would not be exercising his prosecutorial discretion when it comes to illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. The Vincentian newspaper reported that the prosecutor said once offenders are at an age where they could be sent to prison, they should receive a prison sentence. Delpesh's comments came on Tuesday, 4 days after Randall Brown, a 17-year-old third-form student on the leeward side of the country, received a 5-year prison term after pleading guilty of 2 charges of firearm possession and 2 charges of ammunition possession without licenses and 1 count of discharging a firearm. Brown was sentenced to 5 years for possession of a .303 rifle, 5 years for possession of a homemade firearm, 1 year for having 13 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 3 months for having 1 round of ammunition, and 6 months for discharging a homemade gun to endanger life. The sentences handed down by Chief Magistrate Shane Brown at the Serious Offences Court last Friday, June 24th, will run concurrently, which means that the student will serve 5 years behind bars. Just before sentencing, the young Randall Brown admitted that he made one of the guns. The Caribbean Policy Development Center, CPDC, will be hosting a validation workshop with key stakeholders here to present the draft Youth in Agricultural Policy, the accompanying action plan, and the research findings and recommendations. The CPDC is a Barbados-based coalition of Caribbean non-government organizations, NGOs, with 25 years of experience in facilitating policy development. It has been contracted by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to finalize the Youth in Agriculture policy and to prepare an accompanying action plan under the European Union supported Banana Company Measures BAM, which is expected to complement the ongoing programs of both the government and private sector for the production, marketing and distribution of agricultural produce. The workshop will be held on Thursday, July 14, 2016 at the Kingston Methodist Church Hall from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The Vincentian community has been called upon to offer a prayers of safety and protection for Vincentian students studying in Taiwan in the light of the impending super typhoon that is expected to make landfall early Friday morning. Taiwan is bracing for the full impact of Super Typhoon Nepatak, a monster Category 5 strength storm, bringing torrential rain and wind gusts exceeding 330 kilometers per hour. Satellite readings indicate that the storm has sustained winds of 150 knots or 277 kilometers per hour, with gusts reaching 180 knots or 33.3 kilometers per hour. These winds should ease to sustained levels of 120 knots or 222 kilometers per hour when the storm makes landfall. The China Post said that Taiwan's military has mobilized thousands of troops, and Premier Lin Chan was briefed by emergency officials on Wednesday as preparations for the oncoming typhoon ramped up. Some relief may be coming soon for traffickers who have complained about high tariffs on certain goods that are imported into the country. However, it is still too early to determine what type of action, if any, will be taken. The Vicentia newspaper reported that St. Clair Major Leacock, opposition parliamentarian for the Central Kingstown, said on Monday that he and members of the New Democratic Party, NDP, met with the newly appointed governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, Timothy Antoine, who promised to put the issue on the agenda when he meets with Dr. Alvin Hilaire, governor of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. According to Leacock, traffickers were an important group of people as they assisted in the sale of farmers' produce, contributed to the trade and kept the boating sector alive. More local news when we come back. Stay with us.